Hey guys. Hey guys. Welcome to Say What with Waht.
And Chris.
I did it wrong again.
This is crazy. Okay, this is what I want her to do, or she should do. Hey guys, welcome to Say What. It's Waht, or I'm Waht, and I would go, I'm Chris. That's all you have to do. I'm Waht. Just don't forget about me, like as if you're not, just say, I'm Waht. Who are you? I'm Waht. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to Say What. I'm Waht, and I'm Chris.
Okay.
Let's just do it one more time.
Hey guys, welcome to Say What. I'm Waht.
And I'm just kidding.
Don't do that to me. I thought I did something wrong.
I know. I'm just playing with you. I like to have fun.
All right. Well, at 5 minutes, we'll do it for real. So hello, everyone in the room. So we've got Ramsterdam with the first comment. Good morning. Wow. Bobby Brown unmasked indeed. From blaming the dead guy for the death of his ex-wife and their daughter, losing a son to drugs and a hysterical TV program. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot with Bobby Brown. It's a lot with him this week.
Yeah.
JW says hello. Hello, JW. Kathleen Young says, I saw you on Keenan the other night. So exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, in our presence, we have on-screen personality for episode 9 of the Keenan show. You know her from the teacher strike episode of Keenan show as
my name is Linda,
the teacher.
Linda. Yeah.
Welcome, Miss Chris Farah.
Hello. It is an honor to be here with you tonight to discuss not only the pop culture events of the week, but my career and legacy. What a joy and honor it is for you to have me talk to you. So, yes, of course.
You're so gracious. You're so lovely.
Audiences this week with my guest star as Linda the teacher on Keenan, NBC's Keenan, right after Young Rock, right before This Is Us. So a little comedy, little tragedy, but thus is the theater faces and my career.
Yes.
So,
yes, we are all grateful. Thank you so much for coming on to our humble show.
Yeah. I'm gonna get paid for this. Now I'm a big deal.
Yeah. Yep, that's great.
Yeah,
JW says, why? I must say Pepito and Jazz gave me my entire life. JW, you were absolutely welcome for that story. Chris, did you watch my stories of Pepito and Jazz?
Yeah, so Pepito is, okay, so Jazz is Wa's dad. That's not his real name, but his fun name, very fun name. Pepito is Jazz's cousin. First cousin? Okay.
No.
Well,
no.
They're not related. No, I'm just kidding.
They are related, but I can't tell you how.
And now here are two men, honey, that have come together over the beauty that is Garifuna cuisine. But having too many cooks in the kitchen can be a problem. Right, Wa?
Right, Chris.
Yeah, them fighting over Cayutu or Cayu. I watched obviously every moment of it. And then when you were making the tortillas, I was like, okay, so the tortillas weren't corn masa. They were like...
It was hadut. It was plantain.
Yeah, so it's just plantain or there's some...
No, what's inside of it was tuna.
Oh, wow. No, but the thing that the outside is
normally corn. Yes. It's only masa.
It's only plantain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this dish is called panadas, which is I imagine is a take on the empanada.
Sounds right.
But the outside is corn masa that you would to make tortillas with, and you make it, and then you stuff it with usually shark meat. It's usually tiburon, and then it's seasoned and spiced, and then you eat it with like a habanero onion mixture. And hot sauce.
Right now. So. Can I have it right now?
You don't want it because it has fish. I know you.
Oh, can I ask a question? You can't make it with chicken?
Oh, you can. Yes, you can make it with beans. Usually people make it rice and beans. Oh, the vegetarian version of it.
Yeah. I'll eat that all day long. Are you kidding me? The yum.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Aspasia.
Aspasia is here. Hello, Hot Cocoa Bang Bang. Aspasia, Mika Hart. Hello, hello, hello. You guys, we are going to start this episode for reals now at 5 minutes. Hey guys, welcome to Say What? I'm Waht.
I'm Chris.
Welcome to episode 105. God, we are on episode 5, you guys. We are really trying to make this a thing, a pattern. Thank you for those of you who have joined us. We've got 42 people in the room. So I just want to say thank you for joining. Hi, everyone. Yeah. Hi, Ingrid. Hi, Hafsa. You're not late, Hafsa. We are just getting started.
No, honey, we just started.
Hi, Raven. Okay, so let's jump right in. We got a lot to talk about. A lot has happened in this week. Most of it not the best, but there has been a little bit of light stuff that has happened this week. So we're going to talk about that, especially if you, like me, are just weary. So I was weary on Wednesday, and it was a tough day, but I powered through it at work. And then today I was scrolling through my Instagram, and sometimes I love my Instagram feed, and other times I'm just like, I wish I could have two, like one that was like what I would do most of the time. And then when that's too much, switch over to another one where it's just light fluff and fun. But anyways, So anyways, though, we must mention some of those heavier things, and I just want to say them in the beginning so that we can just get it out of the way. First, the verdict for Derek Chauvin. We talked about that last week, but we didn't talk about the verdict. Verdict was dropped on Tuesday, and he was found guilty on all counts, and everyone rejoiced, and he was very shocked. And I found out, is now on suicide watch. So they got to watch him because he's like, didn't really think that he would get guilty on everything. Anything to say about that, Chris?
I had read periphery information like 3 days after it happened, his wife filed for divorce. And she is a beauty model from, I'm sorry, I want to say that some sort of Asian country, like either Thailand or the Philippines. No, Laos. And at one point they tried to put all of his assets in her name. And I think they actually did like do some, like, I think that after the settlement, like she got the house and like a bunch of money, and he got like $400,000, which I just thought was interesting. You know, this is not obviously, this is me giving just like random other bits of information I read. Yeah.
$400,000 is a lot of money. So
I mean, who knows who knows at that time what his counsel? I mean, I don't know. How
I'm just saying, like, he's just
counsel pro bono. Is he paying for his legal counsel?
No, I don't know, but I'm just saying that for someone to be a police, like, I know their wife is a beauty model, but like for him to still walk away with $400,000 is a lot of money to walk away with. But you know, that's fine.
I think that probably the police force is paying for his legal things. I just don't want to say anything wrong. I don't know who's paying for his legal counsel. You know, so So there's other peripheral information. So obviously, yes, that verdict happened. And then LeBron had tweeted at the cop, okay, I'm so sorry. Will you tell me how to say the victim's name who was shot the day the verdict happened? And it's like, you know who I'm talking about.
It's like Makaya. I never phonetically looked at it. I just saw the name and didn't know how to say it. So let me just find it.
So anyway, so he had tweeted, you're next, and he had to delete it because people got mad at him. And then I read something how O.J. Simpson was like, had his opinion on the topic, which was like, what? O.J.'s opinion? And by the way, we've been knowing his opinion, by the way, that LeBron was wrong for doing that or whatnot. But when I watched the ESPN documentary on O.J. Simpson, it really made me realize like his political standings and how he views himself and stuff. So it was an interesting story to come out based on that.
Her name is Makia.
Okay.
Yes. So she was also killed by a police officer. I believe she lived in a group home, and she was from what I saw, maybe trying to defend herself. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. But the cop chose to kill her, shoot at her, as opposed to tase her or anything like that. It did look like she was about to attack someone else. So he wasn't, it's not like she was coming towards him. So yeah, not like, but that's not what it was. Usually that's what I think of usually when a cop, something like that happens. So all very overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so
was that like part of, like, did that also affect you that day? Like when you said you were like overwhelmed Wednesday, was a lot of like her thing as well, or just the verdict? Or
yeah, it was her thing as well. It was just like so much in one day. It's like you saw that, and then all of a sudden you see 16-year-old who was shot by police. It's just like
yes.
What?
And obviously it's not even, last week we had to deal with the police woman who, like, obviously thought she had tasered and also like had shot.
Yeah. So you know what it is? It's just it's that whenever I think the fact that one has come to the surface, there are so many more that aren't being talked about. And it just like kills me. It kills me that they have to be out like that. There's this one stupid one where nobody died, but these police officers took a group of kids' bike, and I guess they lived in another part of New Jersey, and how are they going to get home? Like the guys were like, we have no way of getting home. We don't live here. And I guess you have to have a permit to to ride a bike in that area. Like the registered
bike, like a normal bike.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's crazy.
And so there's that.
That's crazy. There's no need for that.
Yeah. So
the skateboards have permits?
I have no idea, but that was weird. That happened. To hear Tamir Rice's mother is trying to get the courts to look at her son's case. So it's just a lot. There is a lot going on.
Yeah.
So let's move on. We got through it. We did it. Let's move on.
I feel like when I look back at this segment, I'm going to look like I just don't know what I'm talking about. I'm so low energy. And it's just because I think it is. I'm so sorry. I think that obviously it was really intense. And I think that I just processed it by not being able to talk very well or about my thoughts on the situation. But anyway, it obviously very happy that he was found guilty on all accounts. And I watched the reaction videos of George Floyd's family, and that was really there was like an amount of relief to watch that in some way. So not that there's a relief for all of this, but if you need like a moment of like, relief, and that there's to watch these people that have been through so much cheer. It does feel good. It does feel good. Anyway. Oh, God bless us, honey. Pop culture shows, what's happening in the world. A lot.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was just letting you get that out. I was ready to. Yep.
You've been ready to go on.
Yeah. And I was just wanting to let you get it out.
You ready, Chris? I know. I love you. I love you so much.
So let's move on to something lighthearted yet still sad. So Michael B. Jordan. This man is happily in a relationship with Laura Harvey, Steve Harvey's stepdaughter, and I was mad. I couldn't.
It's a real daughter, isn't it? Not real daughter?
No, I think that this is the daughter that came with his wife.
Oh wow.
I mean, someone can correct me, but I haven't been.
Okay. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, we didn't hear you say it.
Now I'm just looking at her face and trying to find the Steve in there. I don't see no Steve, so yeah, okay.
So Michael B. Jordan, I just need for the hot guys of Hollywood to stay single, or if they're not single, I need them to be married, and I just need to know that their marriage is going to last forever. Otherwise, I'm just mad at them. And so I'm mad at this. I don't want him to have a girlfriend. Not that I was ever going to get with Michael B. Jordan, but then she's also like the type, like I can't even deny that she is a very neutral beauty. You know what I'm saying? Like no one could look at her and say, oh, she's not my type or she's not attractive. Like she's attractive. Okay. And it's an undisputed notion, And so I'm just like, man.
Okay, so if
you get the pretty ones,
Okay. So are you like just somewhat envious of Lori? Because in the sense of like, if you don't, you just never want him
Yes.
to have a girlfriend. But if he's gonna have a girlfriend, what kind of girlfriend does he get to have?
I don't know, a wife. No girlfriend. I don't want to
Okay.
know about the person until he's like but said I do, and it's a real serious relationship. Isn't there I mean, listen, what if Jason Momoa wasn't like in an open marriage? How would you feel?
Like if he was in a closed marriage?
I'm
Wait,
gonna
I'm
fight
confused.
I'm gonna fight you. You don't know what an open
How would
marriage
I
is?
feel if he was just married? Oh, how would I feel if he was married, not married, or just in a regular marriage, or single?
I'm sorry. I meant to say, how would you feel if Jason Mimosa wasn't in an open marriage? Doesn't that kind of that's not his name? Mimosa?
No,
What's
it's
his
not
name?
Mimosa. No,
What
it's
is it?
Momoa.
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 Sorry. I'm sorry.
Mimosa
I'm
the
just
drink.
trying to give you somebody
Oh, I
that
love
you
him so much.
really like.
Oh, I love him so much. Okay, so how would I feel if he was not in an open marriage?
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Because
asking
like
me?
don't you feel like the fact that that because he's in an open marriage that like you could like if stars were aligned, like maybe you could get with him, like one day.
Unfortunately, because I know someone who did hook up with him, I know that I am not his type. Honey. I am not his type. He likes.
Okay.
So I've already come to deal with like that he is not gonna like he's gonna see me and not be into it. Like I'm not saying that I'm not fabulous and I feel very great about myself, but like I think that he just likes a certain type of woman that I'm not, which is great. They're great women, just like can't ever be that type of woman, God bless. So but I will say that this whole situation is interesting because I don't believe it at all. I don't believe their relationship at all. Sorry, not at all.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
He got such flack for only dating white women for so long. And she, God bless, is on a trajectory, a career path that I think.
With the men she's dating. Absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
I didn't know anybody that he dated besides her.
Because they weren't famous.
But he's been famous for a while. He's been Black famous for a while.
Oh, he's been famous.
So so it doesn't matter that his girlfriend is unknown and white. I mean, unknown. The big thing is that she's white. Like I didn't know this at all. Also, he apparently bought Vanessa some Ray-Bans last year.
So many things.
During the pandemic, he bought you sunglasses?
You need to expand on that. Absolutely expand on that. Hafsa said I could with Jason Samosa, which I think is hilarious. Everyone that it's not Momoa. I'm gonna kill everyone. Truly. Wait, I wanted to say something. Oh yeah. Okay. I just want to know. So you had never experienced or had heard that there were some criticisms of Michael B. Jordan for only dating white girls in his past.
No, I mean that hurts me even more. That hurts me even more.
Okay, so sorry.
Not only is he dating Lori Harvey, who is the exact opposite of the type of Black woman I am physically, right? Like
we both have it. We both are obsessed with men who like we're not them. We're not for them.
Oh my God. So anyways, I'm over him. So let's not talk about him anymore. I hate him.
I haven't said this or whatever. I don't know for sure if Michael B. Jordan has any sort of prejudice against skin color. I am telling you what the streets have said about Michael B. Jordan before. The white girl thing. Yes, honey. Yes, that's a whole thing. It's a known thing that like people like Black Twitter and stuff like that, like for years. Like this is something that happened obviously before Lori. You know what I'm saying?
No idea.
What I'm saying is Lori presented a really great thing for him in such a way. This is whatever. I'm saying I don't believe in their relationship or whatever, but I'm a horrible person who's single and hates everyone. So like, my opinion is like, beneath the two like very famous people that are drop dead gorgeous. Also, side note, Jason Momoa's type is a spinner. A very small, petite woman, a woman that you could just. Okay.
You were talking about such a very like, are they like 100 pounds? Are they like 5'1", 100 pounds?
Well,
are they like Kristen Chenoweth?
No, they're like Lisa Bonet.
But she's tall.
No, she's not.
Oh.
She's tiny.
Oh, I didn't know she was tiny.
Oh yeah, look, have you seen? I mean, first of all, have you seen her?
Yes,
Oh my
I
gosh,
have,
she's a
but I
bird.
can't.
I mean, she's like a frail woman. I mean, I mean, she's don't hit her. She'll throw all over, honey. She'll break. She's tiny.
Okay, but I didn't know that. So I'm asking you, do you know how tiny Kristen Chenoweth is?
Yeah, real
Okay,
small.
are they the same?
Lisa Bonet is taller than Kristen Chenoweth. Kristen
Okay.
Chenoweth is
Very short. Yeah.
Lisa Bonet is 5'2", Aspasia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little. Cash is 5'4", and she's the tiniest.
I don't think they're in an open marriage. Oh, they absolutely are.
So yeah. All right. So let's move on. The next thing that I've got ready for us is there was an interesting conversation that happened, I don't know, over the weekend. Chris sent it to me, and it was between this gentleman by the name of Kevin Samuels and Joe Budden.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, Kevin Samuels has a YouTube channel that is about helping women either find men or know what men are thinking, to try to give them like dating advice. And he's, in his mind, he's giving the hard truth. And I do think to a certain extent that he is speaking what the reality is, as opposed to kind of trying to change the reality's narrative. And so when he talks to women, and he talks to men too, I imagine, when he talks to women, he asks them how they rate themselves. He asks them their age, their weight, their height, and their physical beauty. And then he will tell them the truth. If they're like, I'm a 10, he's like, you're not a 10. You're a cute 6. And this is why. And he like breaks them down physically. And then he's trying to say his overall theme is women tend to think that their value goes up as they get older because of education and because of money. But men don't think that way, and women's value actually goes down as they get older, and especially if they have children. And so he's obviously talking about women of a very specific social class, social economic status, and men, and he's specifically talking about Black men because that's his experience, and Black women. And so he went on the show with Joe Budden, which I don't really know Joe Budden as far as like who he is and his theme or whatever, but he agreed with him on a lot of issues and was worried about getting canceled, and was kind of like reiterating how he, you still have to be very careful. But when you talk about women, but one thing that I pulled away from that, which is something that I will definitely stop doing, is Joe Budden talked about how women are allowed to tear men down publicly, like men in general, by saying, Black men ain't ish, or, don't want no small penis man, or talk about how, broke men. And they even went through the song Scrubs. A scrub is a guy who thinks he's fly and is also known as a buster, always talking about what he wants but sit on his broke. So anyways, so Kevin Samuels is talking about like welfare queens and women who what happened in the Black community, and how women, aren't marrying men. Black people aren't getting married as much as they did in the 60s. And it's because women found another way, which is crazy. Women found another way to support themselves, and that was through welfare, which was like, okay, now you're taking it too far. And so anyways, he's very, very problematic. These two very problematic men got together and had a problematic ass conversation. Chris, did you listen to it? Did you watch it? What did you think?
I love it. No, I don't love it, but I love talking to you about this. It's very interesting. Plus, we had like talked a little bit about Saweetie's like point of view, and he mentioned Saweetie or whatever, and so like there's connected themes or whatever. I didn't watch all of it. I watched the first 45 minutes, which is exactly half, okay, which I thought was good for me. I also have never watched Kevin Samuels. I didn't know him before this, and I have never watched his YouTube. So he references what his show kind of is, but I don't know it, like never heard of it. I also never listened to Joe's podcast, and my only knowledge of Joe Budden is that he's into music, but mostly I know him because he was on a whole season of couples therapy on VH1. That's how I know anyone is couples therapy. Okay. Family therapy, couples therapy. That's fine. So, okay. they're talking about a very specific, they are talking about a very specific situation. Like, it feels like his world is like Atlanta, like heterosexual, like older fashioned, gender rolled people that are probably Black, like around the southern region, which is because like of how he speaks and things like that. Like it was hard for me to, I think, and you to like understand certain things because we're like so West Coast, and so he would say things like women do this, and we're like, no, they. I felt like I was like, no, they don't. No, they don't. Like, I have never to a man been like, you're a small dick, and then like didn't expect him to say something to me, like, or whatever. Like, I have been definitely called fat by men in public a billion more times than I've ever been like, you're a small dick, or whatever he's saying that, like, whatever women do to men. I think most of all this, these are my two overlying things. Kevin Samuels feels to me, honey, like he had a very intense childhood / relationship with his mother, who probably does not like, and for some reason maybe idolizes his father in some way. When he's talking about, I mean, again, this is like me talking, he's like talking about Black women. I'm like, why aren't you talking about the men, the fathers? Why are women on why are women on welfare? Because men aren't able to provide for their families. Listen, if I'm going to tell you that I'm into traditional gender roles, and I am, then let's just get to the point of like women being the gatherers and men being the providers. So why are you getting mad at women gathering what they can if they have not been provided for? I like, that was like the whole time he's talking, I'm like, I don't understand. What do you tell men? Men aren't providing. I think the problem in dating is 100% men. Like, women got to like better themselves, and men did not better themselves. They got scared and insecure and then didn't know what to do. Instead, they just like stepped back. They became super like beta, but then also use that against us, like to be like, I'm a feminist, but let's go to a restaurant and split checks. And in my mind, I'm like, if you're a feminist, then don't you believe that we are not paid equal? Then if we're not paid equal, then why the hell are we splitting checks? If you understand that you get paid more, then you buy this. Period. The end. That's one thing. It's like, I think the fault of why the family has been, as a unit, has divulged, I think lies squarely in the hands of the man, who have always had the power this whole time. How dare you literally know how history works and then turn it around again on women? It's so crazy. I'm like, Kevin Samuels, you hate women, like, or you hate your mom. I don't understand, like what your sister situation is. You didn't do it well or whatever. Like, I don't understand who your dad was or what your situation, but it doesn't sound healthy or right. It sounds like somewhat toxic or whatever. So anyway, having said that, I plan, and if I will to be in a relationship, I will happily submit to a man that deserves submission. And at the same time, I understand that I want to improve myself in such a way to get the best partner who's on a level with me. But it's not like all or one thing. I think that there is a level of this. If you want a rich man, if your thing as a female is to have a rich man, then you have to assume this person's heterosexual, that you should probably be conventionally beautiful in some way. Because that's the two things that kind of go hand in hand. Look, if you get mad at me when I say that, then, listen, there's different people that want different, find the guy that's rich that likes your type or whatever. But if you want a rich man, conventionally speaking, you should be somewhat beautiful. So that is if you want a certain type of macho and or rich man that's going to pay for everything, pay for your whole life or whatever. Because the truth is, whoever has the money kind of makes the rules. At the same time, when you pick someone to be in a relationship with, you want a mutual respect. So if you have a man that understands what you bring to the relationship, the value of what you bring, and maybe that is raising the kids, or maybe that is making a beautiful home, or maybe that is your own checking account because you have a job, whatever your things are that you bring, they should be valued, and you find a partner that will give and take. You complement each other. So his viewpoint isn't mine, but it's like it's weird because I consider myself someone who does have traditional gender role values. So having said all that, that is my point. Wow, what did you think?
So I thought that this man was completely negating the fact that a lot happened to Blacks in the 60s, as the Vietnam War, drugs being brought into the country, and put into, lower income neighborhoods. So for him to say that like Black women chose to just be on welfare, they had to get some kind of government assistance because, and listen, it's not just Black women. It's white women too. It's all women in America that use welfare if they can. And if I'm able to get welfare, if I'm a single parent, guess what, you guys? I've paid into it for the last 20 years. I'm getting it. Give me my little food stamps or like whatever. I want my little WIC. So anyways, I don't see anything wrong with it. But like the way he's talking about it is though like women just turn their backs on men. And I was like, no, they were like in jail or like at war and came back crazy AF. And then he was also talking about how women also cite the fact that their grandfathers were providers. And so that's who they're looking towards. And they don't understand why the men now aren't the same type of providers. And then they tried to say, well, that's because women, your grandmother was submissive. Your grandmother, stayed home. Your grandmother listened to that man, and he probably had a wife elsewhere, but you never heard about it. Your grandmother never talked about it. It's almost like he was trying to say that like women these days are too independent and want too much, which is why they can't find a man who is a provider. And I was just like, what? We've evolved. The society has evolved. Women can now go to work. Whereas like for the majority of womanhood, only the poorest women were allowed to work. And that's because society, they needed to feed themselves. But almost every other class of woman, it was kind of looked down on because it was like, who are going to take care of your kids? You know, you had to be home to take care of your kids. So like, he was just really talking about it from a very like one level type. He talked about the color purple girl. He attacked my favorite movie of my life.
Wait, yes, he did. Yes, he did. He said, oh, he hates the color purple.
And it was like, first of all, the color purple is a book written about a specific situation that this woman, Alice Walker, just envisioned and like could be someone's story. And it's very valid. Like, no, we didn't just in 1982 watch The Color Purple and just become independent and think we could do it all on our own. Like that movie has so much more to offer us than just whatever it is that you're taking from. So it was just interesting. So I would, yeah. And then
that made me laugh. I didn't think of you a lot for The Color because we talk about a lot.
So I was just like, wow, this is such a crazy conversation to be having. Your situation is so specific, so zeroed in on. And like, I do think, like I said, I think that he talks about a lot of what the reality is when dealing with men. Like the reality is like a man who makes a lot of money is going to want a wife that he can flaunt unless he's like well-rounded, which most men who make a lot of money aren't. You have to have a certain drive in order to make that kind of fucking money. And I think that kind of takes away from the way you have relationships, not in all situations, but whatever. So like, yes, they do want that wife that's hot. They want Coco, right? Ice T married Coco and went about his effing life. Like he was like, I got the trophy. And you're just like, I love Coco, but I'm like, trophy? Okay. So like, but yeah, that is what they want, right? That is what they want. And so that's fine. And that's the reality that I think women need to understand. I do think that women of a certain age need to recognize that that the guy they want, you can't always find your Stedman. Like you can't find your Stedman, a guy who's just like, I make my own money, have everything I want. I'm gonna be with this super rich woman. I'm just support her, and I'm solid in my manhood, and I don't need to be with somebody who I am better than, or I lord over, or I possess, or whatever. Go ahead, Chris.
You just made such a good point, but earlier someone said like, yes, like he says like women evolved and like, or women like got independent. And it's like, yeah, and you didn't match us. And yet you talk about a growth mindset. He talks about like a growth mindset or like having a mindset of like getting better or like moving up or whatever. And it's like, then why don't you tell men to do it? It's just, anyway, you have to, that part was just, but I also, he had talked about also like, and women, you know, like, and I don't know if he's talking about like Black women in Atlanta who like he's talking about like being overdone looking with like extensions and fake veneers and eyelashes and fake nails. And it's just in like, you know, but it's like at the same time that's what men like. And then you just said Coco and I would be like, yeah, like I literally I got Coco and Coco has, I mean, you know, everything. And so it's like, what are you talking about? I mean, not every man's going to want a Coco type, but there's going to be men that want Coco's type or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you talk to only you? Like, he was like, I want a natural type. And there was like 5 other dudes there. And like the one guy that was kind of off to the side talking in a white shirt, I'm like, that guy wants a fake ass. I know he does, you know? Anyway.
And he said, oh, he's like, yeah, just because we like the unnatural Instagram stuff doesn't mean that that's what we actually want in real life. And so it was weird that some guys were on his side a little bit, but then tried to stick up for Black women. And then some of the men, the one guy who was like sitting off to the side in that white shirt, he was real angry. He's got a lot going on with him and his spirit, you know what I'm saying, with women. But it was just really interesting, just like all the different opinions, but the main thing I took away is, yes, I'm not going to talk about men anymore. If like, I mean, I never really do publicly, but like, I just won't talk about like men anymore. Like, you know, I'm just going to be nice. Oh, that's another thing he said. He's like, all men want are a nice woman who's cooperative and, what was the other thing? Cooperative and I don't know, something. But when he said nice and cooperative, I was like, what does that mean? Because like, I have to trust you in order to be in cooperation with you. And if I don't trust you, then I'm going to speak up and say something. So
yeah.
Anyways.
That's a good point. And the point being then is have men that are more trustworthy so that you can cooperate because we know that you're going to make a right decision because men are dumb and women are smarter. So you have to have men get smarter so women can like trust you with their lives and shit.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So let's move on to our next topic. All right. So this is quick from TMZ. U.S. representative lectures FCC regarding our Cardi B's performance at her Watt performance at the Grammy. Here's the deal. The Wisconsin Republican lambasted the FCC. This was Glenn Grothman. Attacked the FCC for broadcasting the WAP rendition that they did on national TV last month, saying that it was contributing to America's moral decline. Grothman says Cardi's performance was inconsistent with basic decency and even shades Vice President Kamala, whose name he pronounced wrong, for being a Cardi B fan. And I just want to say, I don't like this country's moral decline. I'm sorry. This country, when has this country's morality ever been not shitty? When they were having slaves, or like when was it at its peak and at its top and at its best? When we were fighting wars, sending people's children off, like, you know, attacking the blacks, keeping civil rights down. Like, when? Explain to me.
You know, I'm so sorry. This is going to sound so, this is going to sound like a little uppity and snotty. I'm just going to say it. Okay.
I'm ready.
But when you like travel and you watch like other TV in different countries, American TV is so chill. This program happened at night. Like, and if you like, I think that parents can just judge what they want their kids to see. And if they don't want them to see this, then like don't have them watch TV at night and watch what they're watching. This isn't like on Nickelodeon. And this isn't like on, I don't know, This is like, and this is like our artists doing their thing. They're allowed to do what they want. You know, we know what Cardi does. If you don't know Cardi, then why are you watching the Grammys? Are you just you never heard of Cardi? Like, are you daft? I mean, like, have some responsibility for your own content in your life. So, but yeah, the other thing is, yeah, when you like travel and you like see what TV is like, this is nothing. And what a crazy thing to spend time or money or breath on is getting mad at like a Grammy performance that already happened. Ugh.
It's just so interesting because, yeah, you're right. It's a silly argument to have in Capitol Hill, on Capitol Hill. And also, she didn't show, I mean, maybe it was because they were like simulating scissoring, which I guess can be a little risque. But if you are allowing your child to watch a Grammy performance of the song WAP,
But
wet ass P word, then it is what it is. So, like, yes, and this isn't back in the olden days when I were young, where you only had 8 channels. And so, yes, they needed to be responsible. The FCC really needed to be responsible to see what came on TV, because this was free television that was broadcast and it was only a couple of stations. But now, what was it on? The Grammys? I don't know. It was on one of the basic 4 channels or whatever. But like, no, you don't get that. So I don't know. That was just dumb. But speaking of Cardi B, guys, we found out that Cardi B is going to come out with a makeup line called Barty Makeup. And all of the packaging,
Barty Beauty.
Oh, yeah. Barty Beauty. Sorry, I knew it was an alliteration.
I only started because I said it with you. I was like so excited to like mouth it with you, and I was like, and you said makeup, and I was like, I looked crazy. So it's Barty Beauty. Yeah, I love you.
Okay, let me just. So in other news, you guys, this is hot off the presses. Cardi B is coming with a makeup line, and it is called Barty Beauty. Yes. So it is going to have her signature with her real name. So it's going to say Belle Calise on it. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? Like Fashion Nova, Reebok, all these things. I'm here. Get this money. Get it all. Get every single cent, sis. Every single dollar. Get it. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. This is like a different world. And, you know, like I am happy that people can make money and create things for fans, you know, and like the market adjusts in itself. Like, you know, if a product is good, it'll sell well. And if a product is bad, it might sell well at the beginning, but then it's not going to have any legs to like, you know, so, and I'm excited to see what she creates. And like, if she has such an intense fan base, and I love Cardi, and like, you know, see what she's going to create. I'm into her hair masks. So maybe she'll do some sort of natural hair mask situation, and she's been laying the groundwork on the IG stories, which is half the influential battle. So
yeah, I mean, she could literally do hair care. She could do makeup. She could do eyelashes because her should be popping. A lip gloss. She always got a bomb lip gloss. Press on nails or nail jewelry, nail polish. Like she could do so much. So much.
Like, can't you right now see like Barty magnetic lashes?
Yeah.
Barty lash, honey. Barty lash.
Mm-hmm. I could see it. So, I mean, yeah.
Ooh. Whoa, honey, I did not know what they were talking about, but you brought it up. Oh, they are in that birth, honey. They're in that light.
I'm just, so Danny and Hafsa are having a conversation, and because I put up one thing, I was like, oh, okay, now I got to put the reply. Okay, now I got to put the next thing so that whoever's watching it can just see what's going on. What's this one? I think that's the name of the Devils lost daughter. I don't know where they got that from. Anywho, so what's happening on your face, Chris?
I'm trying to understand what that means.
I should have took a picture of you because you were just like, because
it's twice in there because she put it twice. So I'm looking. Okay, well, I'm
for like too long.
Like, what's her face from? Like Jamie Foxx as what's her face from Living Color? Or not Living Color,
from Wanda.
I'm mixing up two things. I'm mixing up Wanda. His Wanda. His Wanda. Yeah,
that's on Living Color. You're right. Shanae was Martin.
No, I know. Then I thought about Shanae from Martin, and then I thought, oh wait, did Jamie Foxx also have a character of Wanda on the Jamie Foxx show? I had like 5 thoughts in my mind of like me making, like, wouldn't it be great if he, like, it would have been great also to have Wanda be a neighbor of Jamie Foxx on the Jamie Foxx show. So really just like getting his character, also getting the Martin Lawrence, like the whole thing. We're like, we know we're gonna like this. It's like him being a drag as the person next door. We love this trope,
All right. So the
Wait, can I say one thing about Jamie Foxx is he's gonna have a new show on Netflix.
Oh, it's already up, I heard.
Oh, okay.
Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me.
What'd you say?
Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me.
Oh yeah. So this is like literally he looks so good that when I watched the preview, I was like, this is a new show, right? This isn't him this isn't like some weird like throwback to his show. Like he looks so good.
David Allen Greer is an old man.
Yes. Yes.
He's an old person this way.
Absolutely.
I didn't know. It was shocking for me to see that. Hafsa, thank you so much for joining us. Damn, 6 a.m. Go to bed, girl. All right. Next thing we're going to talk about is Mr. Bobby Brown. So Chris sent me this, and so Bobby Brown was on The Masked Singer. There's a lot going on with Bobby Brown recently. So one is that he was on either Red Table Talk or some show, Tamron, some girl, and he was talking about the fact that Tamara Hall or some, I don't know, one of those. Yeah. He was talking about the fact that Bobby Christina, well, first of all, his son died, right?
Yeah.
Of a drug overdose.
Like recently,
like a week ago.
Bobby Brown Jr.
Yeah. And then he started talking about how the man, oh, Danny, thank you so much for the super chat.
Yay! Ooh, Danny. Some luscious blonde locks, honey.
You guys, let me tell you about Danny. So Danny and I worked at Starbucks together. I'm gonna take this down. You guys get the picture. This is him on Masked Singer. Well, okay. Danny and I worked at Starbucks together. That's where we first met, and it was a good time. And then she like went away to France, and then she came back, and we met randomly at the Century City Mall because I was working there and she was working there, and she was like, come work with me, come to Hollister. And I was like, okay. So I just got a part-time job at Hollister to hang out with her. I folded jeans for 2 months, 3 months. I don't know how long I worked there. And I said, hey, welcome to Hollister. Try our jeans. They're great, which is what I was supposed to say. And Danny told me to say it. And so she would just walk around spraying the most god-awful perfume that Hollister made us spray. So every time you guys walk into Abercrombie or Hollister and you smell their cologne, they are forcing the associates to spray it in the air.
He said I went to the show where she Chris.
Oh, you went to see For Colored Girls? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for coming to that show.
That is, honey, history.
Yeah.
History.
That's how long I've known Danny.
I thought for a second that I had met you like at the Grove once with Waht or something like that. Like I thought like this story sounds familiar enough that I thought that maybe I met you since then, right, Danny?
I don't think
one time that, like I have like a feeling that we're at I don't know. Like I thought that I did meet you. The story sounds familiar.
I don't know. I mean, I've just like literally Danny's one of those people who popped in and out of my life unexpectedly, like at random times. Like when she left and went to France, we didn't have each other's number. So when we ran into each other like 5 years later at Hollister, it was like, oh, we're supposed to know each other.
Yeah.
Because like we met in San Bernardino Starbucks and then met again in Century City Hollister. So it was just like
Kismet.
Yeah. So that's who Danny is, you guys. And we don't talk every day. Like we just talk to each other online sometimes. All right. So moving on to back to Bobby Brown. So Bobby Brown had the tragic Bobby. He had the tragedy of his son, who was drug overdose. He's been an alcoholic. I think he's been sober now for like 2 months, 3 months, and or maybe they said a year. I don't know. It wasn't a long time. I think it was a year or less. And he then talked about how how he lost Bobby Christina, how he lost Whitney. And then he talks about how Bobby Christina was being abused by her boyfriend.
Nick Warden.
And that boyfriend provided drugs to her and Whitney. And listen, I know this is a man grieving, and I know this is a person who has had a lot of loss and heartbreak. However, to blame that individual for feeding Whitney and Bobby Christina drugs, as though Whitney hadn't been on drugs for Bobby and Christina and his whole life, because that boy, Nick, was raised by Whitney Houston. She adopted him and raised him in her own household. And then, I mean, I don't know, I can't say that she allowed him to have a relationship with her daughter, but somehow these two who were I don't know how old the boy was when he got to living in their house. So either she let she adopted a 15-year-old, and then these two 15-year-olds are obviously going to hook up because they're not siblings, or she adopted a child that was like 7 or 8 or 10 and grew up with this person as their sibling, and still they both engaged in relationship stuff underneath the household that Whitney provided. So if they're doing drugs and sleeping together and he's hitting her, that falls all back on the household that they were in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, Bobby Brown stays. I mean, Bobby Brown, I obviously is a tormented, traumatic figure.
Oh my God.
And obviously his viewpoint and perception is skewed from some combination of mental illness and perhaps brain damage from the intensity and years in which he really heavily abused drugs. So, I mean, this is kind of like I hope to say this, to see him now is kind of like a live version of like a celebrity version of like Weekend at Bernie's. He's just like propped up, given by producers of The Masked Singer a song to sing that they know is going to be somewhat a nail on the head. Are you hitting were you saying something?
Yeah, to the heart.
Oh, to the heart, but also kind of like a little on the nose is what I want to say. Real on the nose. Ain't no sunshine when she gone. And Whitney or Bobby, which one could it be? Both, obviously, both. So, it's like this is and we're going to talk about Demi Lovato too. Demi, is her name? Demi? I don't know. Mm-hmm. And this is like a parallel for me. And anyone's allowed to live their lives, truly. People do whatever they want to do. That's like how I am. But I will say that as a viewer, as an audience member, it's hard to watch a celebrity figure who has gone through such unspeakable tragedy and self-harm throughout their life and then showcase it in such a way that feels like a monetary gain. That is like, I mean, when I truly feel like that person should just be home dealing with their lives and like the therapy. So for him, it's just like, oh, we're just going to watch him on The Masked Singer being a crab, singing about his dead wife and the dead daughter that he created. I mean, it's really hard, and he's not a good singer. So no, there's no artistic merit to it for me. Truly, I feel bad to say that. It's like I get to watch this man who's a brilliant artist evoke a beautiful song by storytelling. This is Masked Singer. Okay, so that's how I feel about it. It feels definitely exploitive. And I'm going to have some similar points when we talk about Demi. But yeah, well, what did you think?
Yeah, he has lost his voice. I mean, he used to be able to really sing. And for him to have lost his voice to this point is crazy, because that is his talent. I mean, he is good at acting.
Dancing too.
Yeah. But he is good. I mean, he's not a bad actor. I felt like Kevin Hart really tried to help him and bring him back in the Real Husbands of Hollywood, where all of a sudden he was just in this episode, and the joke was that he just kept taking off his clothes in the in the recording studio. But that's the first time I had seen Bobby Brown in something in a long time, and it felt like they were like there was a comeback. But then it just like it feels like the drugs are just so much a part of his life that it's like he will never come back. It'll just be things like even his jaw. Like his jaw is he like with his jaw, like that's how bad it is, you know? So it's like you're a celebrity and you were on drugs so bad that your mouth is like, and you didn't have a stroke?
Maybe he did. He could have had whatever happen. OD. We don't know about any, there could have been ODs and brain damage and like,
yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. So it's just like, yeah. And so it's just like a lot. And it's so sad to see and watch him, but he has to plug forward because how else is he going to make money? He doesn't, I don't imagine he has a lot of savings. I don't know how much he got from Whitney's estate, if anything. Like he has to be out there working. There is no way.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I understand, like, maybe that's also part of it. And so it's just, I will say that, yeah, people are allowed to do what they want to do. And this is how he's making money. I know I'm not here for it though, as an audience member.
Yeah, it is terribly sad. It's terribly, 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 terribly sad. Yeah. Okay. So let us move on to Demi Lovato. I didn't take a picture of her. But Demi Lovato, it got upset with a small business in LA. She didn't attack like a big company. She attacked this small company called The Big Chill because
it's a frozen yogurt shop.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Frozen yogurt shop. And because they had sugar-free options on their menu. So Chris, go ahead.
Well, yeah, she had walked into the frozen yogurt shop. And there are like treats you can get in the yogurt shop as well as the yogurt and flavors and different types or whatever, like sugar-free, fat-free, like I know this well because like I love a yogurt land. And when you go to like these places, yeah, like you'll find one that's fruit only and sorbet, like they have different types or whatever. And I think that there's also ones that definitely have sugar-free options for probably specifically diabetic people, but she felt triggered seeing, guilt-free or sugar-free, some of the words on the packaging. And she lashed out in a tweet and then got a lot of, she tagged them in a story and she said, do better. And then had a DM conversation. They basically were like, we're sorry, or like saying like, we have different products for different customers and didn't mean to, trigger you at all. But like basically being like, well, we're not going to change anything. This is like what we do, like, and she had then of course have some sort of like, I'm sorry to the people. And it was basically her being like, triggered and then acting out in such a way. And I think also trying to make a point when it was tone deaf.
Got a super chat from Jen. Oh, yeah.
Yes, honey.
Thanks, Jen. So yeah, and I found it interesting because when you sent it to me, I was like, what did they do wrong? And I think the main thing is that it was a small business. So it's not like she attacked Yogurtland, right? She attacked a small business in LA. So it's like you're attacking small business. And also like I don't know, this is where like, not intersectionality, but I guess ableism. Like there was something about it that was like, duh, girl, sugar-free is for diabetics.
Yeah.
Like, or, so I don't know like what it is that she saw that specifically triggered her, but there are some people who like, she talked about mental illness and she talked about eating disorders and how places like that kind of perpetuate this idea of, she has an addiction to, not an addiction to, eating disorders, but she's prone to eating disorders. And so things trigger her. And so because she's such a big advocate for loving yourself, loving your body, and, but she has these issues, she just was like trying to stand up for the people who are like her, but then didn't realize that the other side of it are a whole group of people with like another type of medical issue.
Yeah.
Right. Where they could, die if they had too much of this, or like, go into a coma, diabetic, like, there's lots that can go on.
Yeah.
And not that her medical issue isn't any less important. I'm just saying that like she completely negated a whole group of people that need this.
Yeah.
And said it fed into like diet culture. And I don't know. Listen, I don't know about diet culture because I am on the periphery of it. I'm on the edges of it. It is something that I had to learn later on in life. And it's only after talking to some of my friends who have dieted for the majority of their lives that I understand what diet culture is. But like, I would never, I cannot speak on it because it's not something that has affected me. Like the thing I do right now is just eat better and exercise, and I could lose weight pretty relatively quickly. And it's been like that for the majority of my life. So I don't like, to me, those diet stuff are like, oh, great, something to help me. It's like a relief to me. It doesn't feel like a need.
Yeah. I understand. I know what she means by diet culture, but the truth of the matter is that not every opinion needs to be voiced. And sometimes we get clouded by our own trauma and stuff to think the world is one way. And I think that for her, because of what she's dealt with, she got triggered. But at the same time, like sometimes you just have to like check yourself. This is a world. It's not your world. It's a world with many different people, many different views. And this is like someone's business. This is the way they choose to do things. If you don't like it, never go back again. Don't go back. Don't go back. If they treat you rude, well, that's a whole other thing. Tweet about it, whatever you want to do. I mean, whatever. But like, if you don't like something, it's not your cup of tea, then just leave and like have the good grace and eloquence to do so. I'm going to tell you this also. This is what I wanted to say about the Bobby thing. She's been doing a lot recently. She's a mental health advocate for like some talk therapy, which I think is like either talk or text-based therapy. She had a whole documentary come out about YouTube about, her OD or whatever. She just had a brand new music video come out where she recreates her OD in the music video. And she, as I keep saying, had an OD. And I just want to be like, girl, rest. Like more than 6 months because you almost died and you're really young. And I'm not saying that her opinion isn't valid because of this. I'm just saying it feels like with all of it, I think that she has to just get out of the spotlight and deal with your things. And as an audience member, and I'm not a huge fan where I think that she's the greatest. However, I do love that confidence song. So it isn't like I don't like her. It's more so like I can't be taken on the ride of this, like you coming back from your almost killing yourself OD with a bunch of content about your killing yourself almost OD stuff. When I'm just watching you like, what's different now? You're still working a lot. I mean, I don't know what's different. What like you might have all these things in play, but you're also like not making the best choices, I feel like. So I don't want to be a part of it. It feels like to be an audience to it, to be privy to it is almost to be like somewhat of an enabler, right? Where you're just like, is it the attention that you seek about this story, or that you're getting the money and the eyes on it that like is perpetuating the sharing of it? Because I truly think that it should be like something protected for you to really, really work on, and not like not for all of us. And I'd want to say it's not that I don't think people should share their story. It's just it's a lot of immediate different types of sharing of the story. And when her talking about being a mental health advocate on a commercial, she's getting paid for it. You understand? And so in my mind, I'm like, you're getting paid for this, and I don't think you're there to be talking about it. And I wish that someone in your life, like a manager, like her manager, Scooter, that's her fucking manager, by the way. Sorry, Waht. I'm on like a rant about this, is not taking care of you because he's making what? Money.
Yeah.
It is Bobby Brown.
Yeah. Especially because like those, like BetterHelp those brands that do their like, yeah, I know it might help some people, but it's always weird for me when people are like, you should do better. When celebrities are like, you should do better help. I'm like, do you do better help? Like, you look like you have enough money to go get the best, or at least get someone who's really great. And I'm not saying that BetterHelp isn't that, but do you do it? Like, that's what I'm saying. So like for me, it's like I don't do BetterHelp. I do through Kaiser. Arthur is my therapist, you know. So like I could never say yes, try BetterHelp. Like I've done it. Like I don't know. It's just weird to me.
I don't know. Sorry, is BetterHelp like a specific app, like talk therapy?
Yeah, it's a talk therapy. It's not I don't know if it's an app, but it might be. But you can text and talk to them, or you can do them over the phone.
Headspace. Oh no, the Headspace isn't one, right? Or is Headspace?
I don't know. I just know BetterHelp. So yeah, it's just so interesting to me. It's interesting. But like I said, if it helps people, then it helps people. I'm not saying BetterHelp doesn't help people. I'm not saying that they aren't, you know, what you should do. But I think when you recommend like therapy, it's hard to recommend something so big to me. It's not a product, you know. But I guess it is now. I don't know. So
I hope that she really helps people. I mean, I hope that maybe there's a whole other side of people be like, you know what, I needed help, or I thought I was alone. And when Demi kept sharing her story, the many different ways in which she kept sharing her story, one of them got to me, and the commercial specifically was it. And then maybe maybe there are people that are like, oh, I didn't think I could get a therapist, but now that I see Demi doing this commercial, I can. I mean, maybe I'm just like being a little flippant about fans, because maybe she, you know, she has a very young following, right? Or maybe not young anymore because I'm old. They've grown up. Yeah. I don't know. So I think that I might be ignorant because I also have not watched documentary. So everything I'm saying right now is my initial reaction based upon just like a peripheryness of like taking her in. Having said that, working out to that confidence song is everything. You know what I'm talking about, that confidence song, Waht?
No.
Okay, I'll sing it for you later.
Okay, yeah, you send it to me. I did watch 2 or 3 episodes of the documentary, and to me, it's part of her healing process because I don't know I don't know when she had the OD. In my mind, I was like she OD'd in August, but I don't think that is true. I think that she's had most of 2020 to heal. Like I think she OD'd like either early 2020 or late 2019 because she was actually filming a documentary. And then she relapsed, but no one knew she had relapsed until she had OD'd. And then it feels like continuing the documentary where each of her friends have to talk about their personal experience with the whole OD and the a little bit before and the aftermath. She sits there with them while they talk about it on camera. Now, we don't see that she's sitting next to them for majority of it. It's not until like the 3rd episode that we see that she's literally sitting right next to them when they are talking about how scared they were and how she was good at hiding it. And then when her therapist talks about, or the doctor who worked on her talks about like his experience with it, she's literally sitting next to him, just taking it all in. And so to me, I was like, wow, this is a part of her like healing, like just listening to how she's made everyone around her feel, how, you know, they were on eggshells around her and whatnot, you know, whatever. So okay. I do think that you do have a valid point when it comes to some of the, you know, now that she's everywhere again, because we didn't know when she wasn't everywhere. It was like it was a pandemic happening, so we weren't really paying attention to whether or not Demi Lovato was doing anything. But now it feels like she's everywhere. So I do get that. I do. Okay. Get that. So Kalani came out. I don't know who Kalani is. I looked at pictures of her and I just had no idea. I don't know who this person is. What song does she sing, Chris?
I don't know.
Okay. So she came out. She says that she's lesbian and that
she's cute.
What? When we talk at the same time, I can't hear. Go ahead. Say it again.
She had a baby. She's cute. Those are the things I know about Kalani.
Oh, okay. And I guess when she was talking to her family about it, they were all like, yeah, we knew. She was like, whoa, I didn't know. So Y muy interesante. So now we're moving on to the next segment, our final segment. We are at an hour and 9 minutes, guys. We actually went over. Thank you for those of you who hanging out with us. So it's called I'm Into It. Chris, what are you into this week?
Okay. I'm into two things. Okay. Two of them. One is a thing and one is a song. So the thing I'm into is, you've seen Instagram people show these before, maybe you haven't, but I got like a set of Forever roses. They're a year, like they will last a year. They're like done with like natural oils as a preservation method, and they come in different kinds of things, like beautiful boxes. This is like a black velvet ones. They have like a crystal one, and this one's this brand is called Rose Forever. I got this beautiful box from them, and it's so lovely and so nice. And I just have never had Forever roses, and I love having. They don't smell. Well, they kind of smell. Yeah, they kind of smell. They do smell. They smell. I think I smelled the velvet first. I just have never. I love the idea of just being able to like have real flowers that are not going to die. It just feels like less wasteful. And it comes in that box and it'll like can be anywhere. And it's a great Mother's Day gift. So I do have a code if anyone wants it, because you know how it is. I was gifted this item, but I do truly love them. And so I feel confident telling you, you can go to my Instagram for a direct link on my bio, or just go and use a discount code. And that's Chris Farah 20, honey. So I got the white roses in a black velvet box. The crystal also is gorgeous. And yeah, like they're a New York based company. They started in 2019. Now, so yeah, that's that. And I also think it's great for Mother's Day. But I also could also like just literally get them for like a shower or like, you know, birthday. The other thing I'm into, is a remix of a Dua Lipa song called Hallucinate. And it's specifically the 10 Snake remix of Dua Lipa's song Hallucinate. Oh my God. Remember when we went to Vegas and that Sugar song we were really into a long time? Anyway, this song is like a kind of like EDM-esque dance poppy song remix, but it's so good to work out to. It has like, it builds you up and then it has like a moment. I like working out to it. Like I've been like obsessively working out to it this whole week. And there's a point where you know that the beat's going to drop. And that point is when I take my arm rates and I just start punching. Oh, I love it. So this is what it looks like, you know, if you're like on a device, and that's what the cover looks like. It's Dua Lipa's Hallucinate 10 Snake remix, and my Forever Rose Forever I'm Into It, Chris Farah.
I have a question about Rose Forever. Do you just leave them in the box?
Yes.
But then where do you put that box?
Honey, like, a beaut, like, look at it, it's a velvet box, like, on a table, you know, like,
oh, okay. So you just have to dust it. You have to dust it weekly.
Oh, yeah. But you don't water it. You have to change the water. The water's never going to smell or anything. Yeah, maybe.
Do you have them in a vase?
No, just so you know, I do. You can. There's a top to it. Is that what you're asking me? Like you can put the top on it. But they have in the vase. They have a crystal square vase. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It's beautiful.
Okay.
I think they were out of it. I really wanted it. Yeah.
Okay. So,
well, what are you into this week? Oh no!
I'm not into, and I wasn't into anything this week. So what it is I have things that I'm not into. So Hafsa wants to say, do we share what we're into this week, or is it just you two? You can share, girl. Just put it in there and tell me. If I can find a picture of it, I will.
Waht needs an option right now. Anyway,
so let me tell you what I'm not into. And listen, I think Chris is the one who introduced me to this Instagram page, but there's an Instagram page called Dirty 2000s, and they posted this video or this slideshow of the style of the 2000s, and I cannot believe that I was so sad that I wasn't cool enough or hip enough to figure out how to dress the way that these celebrities were dressed, and they were dressed horrible. It's like layers. It's like fake boho, low-rise jeans, like flare jeans with pointy toes, like a lot of closed-toe shoes with like open shoulder dresses or outfits, a lot of bellies, a lot of chains. It was Britney Spears, it was Christina Aguilera, Pink, Fergie, Gwen. Well, Gwen was the only one who looked good, and what's that? Mishka Hart, the girl,
Misha Barton.
Yeah, wasn't she? Yeah, that. Oh God, OC, whatever. I didn't even watch not one moment of that stuff, so I don't fucking know. But, anyways, so I was just like, oh, God, it's gross. And you know, the other thing that I find to be gross are these shoes. Like, I know that people love them, but these square-toed, strappy sandals with these weird-ass heels, like, I hate them.
Me
and
too.
I don't know if it's because I'm really hip and I have style, or because I'm an old person and I cannot see the beauty in these.
No.
I don't see it. I don't get it. I feel like it makes me not like toes even more. I need it to go away because it looks weird.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think it ruins the look of the foot. I really enjoy silhouette so much when it comes to clothes and shoes. And so you really want to find one that complements your body, and feet kind of look the same. So I'm not into this one. Specifically, look at the top also, right? Not only is that a square toed, but I can't stand those types of heels. And that heel is somewhat came in too. And it's like, that looks crazy. And sometimes you see women who get those little things on their heels, like what I'm looking at when they go to weddings, the stilettos, so that a wedding that'd be like on grass. I see those as like a heel protector on that. And so immediately that's the first thing I see is like, honey, are they like stepping through grass? Is there a polo match? Like, where is it? But so anyway, but that is just the style. So I'm not into it.
I'm not into it either.
Because it ruins the silhouette on both sides. It ruins the silhouette for your toes, and then on the sides it ruins the silhouette for your heel. And if you don't want to do a big heel because it's too high, then I would rather a smaller heel but a delicate heel at the end. I mean, it's just the shape of the foot. It just to have this box at the end. Maybe you can speak of architecture in some way that I think that it isn't. It's just not my style. It feels more fun. It's a very funky look that is more like, a funky ant.
But it's not, but it's trendy. Like, it's not like it's an offshoot. It's the thing now, and everyone does it, and all the girls are trying to like wear the square toe. You know what I also don't like?
What?
Is this fucking pointy toe. Like this extreme, like, hold on, let me take this down. Like, I just
much.
The toes, I just hate that too.
Oh, I don't mind it much.
Okay. Like, if it were just less.
I kind of like it. Okay.
If it were just less, but her foot looks great. That shoe you can't walk around in. That toe is gonna be up and dirty, and it's gonna be like scuffed. Like this is not a practical shoe. I mean, it's definitely a Rihanna look, and it's cute on Rihanna's foot or whatever. But it just looks like you can't. If you walk on cement, someone's going down. That foot gets caught, or that thing, or like maybe they turn into like the tips turn up because of when you walk. Like, it just seems like it's going to be a lot of bad very, very soon. So anyways, I'm not into it.
Okay.
I feel like that's not for every foot. It's not for the square ones. Okay. You can say they're for a wide foot, but I just like the white toe box on this one. I was just like, why your dirty toe marks are going to leave an impression in the toe box. Like, look at that white one in the upper on my stuff. That once you take that off, you're just going to see a dirty outline of your toes.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I ask you a question? Because you worked, I know you worked at shoes. Like, are people supposed to, okay, so how do you not get that? Just like, obviously scrub your feet like crazy before you put your feet on, but like even just throughout the day, your feet get really, and then like dust. Yeah. Because like, it's like,
because your foot is sweating. If you're black, you have lotion on. You have lotion from here all the way down to the tips of your toesy woesies in between. So the minute you step outside, dirt, environs are clinging to your toes, and so it's not practical at all.
Say it again.
Environs.
Mm-hmm.
The elements is what I call them. Like when I'm at work and people leave the top off of stuff, I'm like, I don't want that. It's been all in the environments and in the atmosphere. The environments has got it. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah. Y'all are the type of people that just let at a picnic, y'all just leave your food open for any flies or whatever to get on it. Not me, girls. Cover it.
I love covering it. It makes two things to say about that because I know we have to go. A, it makes me so bad when people eat pizza and just leave the cover on the pizza. I'm like, close the pizza. It's getting so cold. I can't stand it. Okay. Second thing is today, honey, I played 9 holes of golf. Okay. Whatever. I left my water thing on like a bench. It has a cap on it. I couldn't find it. The first hole is 9 holes. At the very end, I come back. It's an hour later and like, I'm like, where's my water? So it's like, oh, look, it's on the bench. And then I went and got it, threw it away. Like, why didn't you want your water? I'm like, I haven't been around it for an hour. What are you talking about? Like, I'm not going to drink that water. Who knows what happened? Like, there's a cap on it, sure, but I don't know what happened in the hour. What's going here? Like, no way. So, okay, we've been talking a long time. I love you all.
Thank you guys so much.
I love your head thing too. Sorry. Yeah. I like this. Look how cool it is.
Thank you. You love to talk when I'm talking. Also, you are great. You are great. So you with 90-day, not 90-day gaze, but like reality gaze, that was really good and fun too. All right, guys, we love you so much. Look at Chris's foot. Continue, ma'am. Continue with the calisthenics. Chris is she's so flexible. Let me see if I can get my leg over my head. That's what I would like to try to do now on TV.
Okay. Oh!
Nope, this is it. Oh, she's doing it.
Yeah, I have to get it.
Oh my God.
I'm wearing a banana clip, and that's it won't get around the banana clip. I gotta get my
Oh, look how flexible she is, you guys. It is bananas. Yes.
I love you, Waht. Okay, yeah. Thank you for liking my reality gaze. Before we go, please follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Chris L. Farah. The L is for legs. And you can also follow. You can also join my private Facebook group, and that's Vanity Farah. Yes, well, I get it. She's gonna, she's a couple more weeks of stretch, and she'll get there.
I used to be able to do it. Yeah, I used to be able to do it.
Other than that, yeah, this was fun. I'm going to go live on my channel Sunday night for a brand new season of Happily Ever After. So that's happening. And also, yes, if you haven't yet, I was on an episode of Kenan, ha 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 ha, and that was on Tuesday night, he 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 he, and I played Linda the teacher, hoo 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 hoo, and you can play a drinking game as you watch it. Every time they say my name, Linda, take a drink, you'll be drunk after. I said it a bunch, and if you're on the internet and you've already followed me and you want to like tag NBC or tag Kenan and be like, we loved Linda or whatever, like, that's on you. And you can do that or not. And the last thing I'm going to say is, why have I asked for all this the whole time? Is because I always forget to ask this, is please like this video. I should have said that like point number 1. It makes me really, really mad that I never said until this very moment. So you said this, will you please like this video? Like this video right now. Just get it done. Put a little thumbs up, a little thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Plosive thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. I'm sorry. I love you guys. And then we'll do our last things at the end. Wow, what's all your business?
Yeah, just, you guys are here, you're doing the thing. Tell your friends. We're trying to make this something that people want to, give us advertisement. We would like better help. Just kidding, not better help. But I'd like Goldie gummies. You know what I'm saying? I want us to create a show that people tune into. And they're ACV gummies, Chris, ashwagandha gummies. Anyways, we just want sponsors. So thank you guys for supporting this and for loving on us and coming in here every week. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so Chris and I are signing off, and we'll see you next Thursday. And yeah, and watch us on all our other stuff, Instagram, YouTube. What am I saying? Watch us on all our other videos.
Yeah, just like keep it consuming.
90 Day Fiance, Married at First Sight, which I haven't talked about in 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And yeah, enjoy RuPaul's Drag Race tomorrow. Okay, that's it, you guys. Bye. Have a fantastic day. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.
And take care of yourselves and one another. Stand up for what you believe and make art. Bye. Bye.